I have one last thing to drop on that ass. We got some
Oh.
merchandise, and I got some thirsty selfies that I'm showing right now on screen, showing this stuff off. Website is Teespring, Plastic Arts Podcast over at Teespring. Just some various podcast related merchandise, stickers as well that are there, so you can check it out. The link will be everywhere, of course, Twitch and YouTube and audio, all that jazz. But it is live.
Is Lieutenant Soggy Pampers on baby mode? Oh, okay. I read that as you played Lieutenant Soggy Pampers. I'm like, what is this game?
That's Megan's pet name for me. Is Lieutenant Soggy Pampers. So that's some inside scoop, and that the reason why is a long story. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Plastic Hearts Podcast, a show where we break down the video game news of the week. My name's Fonzie, joined by my co-host, indie game dev extraordinaire, Gavin Jones. Gavin, how are you?
Good. What is this new pin on the side of your? You have
It's
a
not a
die?
new pin.
It's not a new pin.
It is from Stumptown.
Oh, is that what it says?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Represent.
Got that free swag from Stumptown Coffee. Oh yeah. Yeah, we get at the coffee shop. That's the coffee that we get for our shop, and randomly they would give us like merch bundles in the orders of coffee. So I'll try to be the first one to like open up that coffee to get the random like cards or just little merch stuff. But yeah, they're dope. All their designs are super dope. How you been, Gavin?
I've been good. Been good. Just busy with work, and that's pretty much sucked all the fun out of everything.
Yep.
So that's neato. But I did have a non-gaming wise. Actually, I haven't basically done any gaming.
I heard that.
I think this last week. But I did stumble upon. Well, I've been watching a lot more TV, so because I've been working out again, and I need something on. Because
Ooh, nice.
you don't want to be alone in a room with these thoughts. They just
No, at all costs. You
take
avoid
over. But my sister, she said I look like this guy from this British show, or I don't even know if it's British.
I'm looking it up. What is
It's called Brassic. No, she's wrong.
it?
I will have you know.
Brazzers? No, are you mispronouncing?
No, yeah, I know. Brassic.
So it's a British show. Okay,
it's a
Brad.
British show. Yeah. 2 seasons. And she says I look like so in that
That guy.
No, not that guy. Although I did send the main guy, he is in some shows, and he there's some really funny clips of him from this show called she thinks I look like that, which is completely wrong.
It's like maybe you could be his neighbor, or
I could
live in the same town as him or something.
So I could see a lot of times in the show he doesn't put his hair up like that. Normally it's just down.
Gotcha.
And so if my hair is shorter and down, it kind of looks like his hair. And that's where the comparison ends. Maybe because I'll just be wearing t-shirts or something like that. But in the face, it is not even close to correct.
I can see the guy on the left more.
Right. I did. But she's like, oh, you look like the guy from Brassic. And then I send her a picture of he's in this show called Misfits, which is phenomenal. It's like
the same dude.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've only seen 2 episodes, but everyone that's seen it says it's amazing. This is way back before superheroes were cool again, and I think
It's
he was
not
one
Orange
of
is
the
New
main
Black
guys.
or something like that.
Yeah, and he was super ugly in this. Well, they're all.
Do they do with the hair?
Oh, and that guy in the middle bottom, that's the sausage guy from Game of Thrones.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
He was fucking terrible.
Yeah, no, in this he's actually likable.
Oh,
which is weird.
I can't even fathom that idea. I forget his name, but yeah, he's the worst villain ever.
But
Nice,
yeah,
okay.
that guy from Brassic is terribly ugly in this show. But there's a meme of him, so I sent her back. I'm like, are you fucking serious? But this show, so she's like, you remind me of that. So I watched episode 1 and 2, and I didn't like it. And then I just left on episode 3 and ended it almost in tears.
Really?
And I'm like, why would you have me watch this show? What am I supposed to do with all these emotions?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I only watched 2 episodes. I'm like, are you fucking kidding?
Just get on the exercise bike and just run away from it.
So I blitzed all the way through 2 seasons of it.
What is it on?
It's really good. It's on Hulu. It's also for some reason on Disney Plus.
Okay, they must own some company subsidiary part of them, and
I don't fucking know.
That's
It seems
weird.
a bit inappropriate for Disney Plus because it's basically the main character's like solution to literally everything is let's just steal it from someone. We need
Well,
money, let's steal it. We need like supplies for a heist, let's steal the supplies for the heist. Everything is stealing. But it's I don't know, you grow to really like him and he's very sweet.
I'm sure there's a couple Even Stevens episodes that were just like that, so I'm sure it's fine.
Are you thinking of that because the guy in the front in this picture?
The hair
looks
for
like...
sure. Yeah. He's got that Even Steven drip.
Well, it's also the jumpsuit because he was in holes.
True.
Wait, is that the same guy?
Yes.
With Shia LaBeouf?
Shia LaBeouf. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to tell me the main character of, or the main boy of Even Stevens was not Shia LaBeouf, I would not be.
Yeah, that was a while ago now.
Ah, Ren Stevens.
Yeah, it was crazy that during that show, she plays like what, a high schooler, but she was in college at the time. Like she was super old for that.
Was she?
Yeah, she was like way older than that character.
She did a little bit of like a what was it, like a cooking show?
Really?
On YouTube, and she did an episode with beans.
Nice.
And
that guy's not aged well.
He is not. He is
I'm trying to find an updated picture so it's not creepy.
Yeah, like you don't want to be creeping on teenage Ren.
No. But yeah, I mean I'm sure she's gonna age great if already that young she looks even younger. So
yeah, you gotta call the.
But what's that Beans guy character? What's his
there you
go. I don't think anybody knows his actual name. But, I mean, life's tough, you know. I can't. It's not gonna go good for any of us. So.
Oh, and
2020 hit him early, I think, is what happened.
It sure did. He almost looks like this other famous guy, but in like a worse way. Man,
but he was great on the show. It's just
he was. I mean, that show was great.
Yeah, it was funny.
Although I bet if we watched it today, it would be the fucking worst thing. Like, that's not one I would attempt to watch again. I think Disney show, like a lot of the Disney movies, you could probably at least mentally bring yourself back to that day and age.
Sure. Halloween
Town, Brink.
Oh damn! Yeah.
So I was talking with one of my coworkers about this the other day. I forgot, I don't know how, about Johnny Tsunami.
I vaguely, was that an animated show or was that real?
That was it was one of the made for TV movies for Disney, but it was like the guy from Hawaii. And I think he's taught to snowboard by the kid who plays Famous Jet Jackson. May he rest in peace. What's his name?
But he died?
Yeah.
Okay, Jesus.
He
Is
died
that the same
after,
person, right? So why do they have that character there? But
yeah, he died after the very last season that doesn't exist of Scrubs.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
And this guy's from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Nice.
So you don't remember this one then?
No.
Okay. All I remember is I remember, so the thing they teach him in this movie that I remember before I went up snowboarding was, it's like, okay, in snowboarding you steer with the front, in surfing you steer with the front, and snowboarding you steer with the back.
Okay.
And then I went up snowboarding for the first time, and I'm like, all right, steer with the back. No, you steer with your whole fucking body. Like the whole thing's involved. It's not just your back foot. So.
Oh, Megan said you should be Beans for Halloween.
I should be.
I think I could see it. I can see it. He's not too far off.
But P. Beans as he looks down. Look at the cast of Grease playing teenagers. What is?
That's true. Well, like the original Grease movie, those were all fucking full adults playing high schoolers, basically.
It's always weird. Like you don't notice those. I honestly like that. I still have those nostalgia glasses where I won't notice until somebody points it out. So like the first time somebody pointed out the original Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, he's like 40.
What was I thinking as like a young child? Like, this is acceptable.
Right. And he's
this
in
is
high
exactly
school.
What my sister in high school looks like. That age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard of all the stuff going on with Spider-Man 3, like the new Spider-Man 3? That there might be everybody showing up, like Tobey Maguire, the Garfield dude. They got Dr. Ock coming back, like all these people coming back. They're going to apparently do some kind of Spider-Verse thingamabob where they merge all those movies together.
I'm down for it. That just sounds fun. It
right?
really sounds fun. Like, honestly, it makes me think of, did you see the trailer for the Lego Star Wars Christmas special?
I heard that was going to happen, but no, I haven't seen that.
It looks
pretty dope.
It just looks delightful. They're just gonna get together. They're gonna have fun, and it's gonna be super fucking cute.
Is that next year? I imagine because it didn't premiere this
It's
year.
probably this year.
There's Lego sets.
Christmas special.
There we go. I see.
There you go.
I have not seen this. Check it out. I'll do no audio so Disney doesn't burst through the door.
Oh, well, it's not gonna work.
I know they're doing some kind of Christmas special, but I thought it was gonna be live action, or maybe this is in addition to something else.
Well, I think it's kind of like mocking the original Star Wars Christmas special.
I feel like I remember Favreau saying he might be directing this too, but I feel like he was saying he was gonna attempt it again and to
One
kind of
can only hope.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, this is not. Oh yeah. Anyway, you should watch that with sound when this is all over. It looks adorable.
Yes.
But what in the world have you been up to, Mr. Fonzie Vance?
Just pooping around. You know, I did get some new shoes, which you commented on, which I'm going to unveil for the first time.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh.
They are as bright as they look on camera. They're probably actually brighter in real life.
They're extra drippy. You know what? They said not to do it. The service can handle it, but I said, screw it. I'm going to premiere my shoes on Twitch.
You never show feet.
Well, these are covered.
That's the thing. Never show feet.
Once my OnlyFans gets kicking, I'll take these shoes off.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, besides the buying shoes, we got That Kid Flowers in the chat. They look clean with galaxies shining through them. Yeah, so that's one thing I didn't expect is that because they're partly green, which audio listeners have no idea what the fuck we're talking about, but you got the space flying through a little bit. There's no way my body can bend this way for that long, but I'm sure I broke something.
You also got the galaxy on your shirt as well, which looks fine,
right?
Honestly.
It's pretty dope. Yeah, as far as like what I did, I jumped around a bunch of different games. So I was playing, there's that new Hitman 3 coming out today, actually. And we have the reviews that we'll talk about too. But I, in anticipation of that, because I really want to get into it, I have the original or the first remake from IO of Hitman. It was a PlayStation Plus game. It was free like a year ago, and started, farting around in that game, and it's pretty dope. I could never get past that first intro mission where they want you to do these various things in order. I couldn't get past that a year ago. So this is my first attempt back in, and it's fun. It's really cool to just succeed in doing the assassinations. The world is so weird and funny, like the way that people will get angry at you for like very minuscule reasons. Like if you turn the water on, one of the things you can do to alert people to misguide them is you can leave a water faucet on. But if they see you doing
like a wet bandit, if you will.
Exactly. Megan walking into the room is like, "Oh, are you the wet bandit?" You can do that, but if they see you doing it, they'll like bring the cops on you and just like freak out
for leaving the water.
Yeah, but it's anything that's sort of mysterious or sketchy. They take notice of it, but otherwise they're also very dumb at the same time, like the NPCs. But it's a really cool game. I really dig that world, and I do want to jump into a new one. I just don't want to spend the money on it, so I think I'll still keep playing the first one.
I hear so. I guess this is the third Hitman and the new Hitman. I guess it's a trilogy now, and they said this one actually like answers questions, like it completes the trilogy, and that's cool. I don't know if the old ones did that.
Well, I have no idea what's going on with the story. I know you assassinate people, and you have no history. You're kind of
sticky bandits. Yes,
sticky bandits. Yeah. The sticky paper bandits. Yeah, there's a story involved, but I have no idea what the hell's going on, but I'm having fun. And people really seem to dig the third one. I do want to try that really bad, but jump around in that. And then me and Callum are trying to go back and play the original Killzone games. So you can play them through PS Now, which is their streaming service.
Are you jumping right to Killzone 2 because Killzone 1 is garbage?
That's what I keep telling Callum, because I'm playing through the first one and it's bad.
Yeah.
It's you have to think of it in the context of that time. So I'm like, okay, shooters at this time were still, still kind of rough, I guess. But then I look at that year, 2004, when it launched or when it released, and Half-Life 2 came out then, Halo 2, Counter-Strike Source. So it's like there's no excuse for that game to be so bad. But I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just like really rough. Yeah. And I can't wait to jump into Killzone 2 for sure, because didn't age well.
Yeah, Killzone 2, I definitely remember I got to like the final mission basically, and it was definitely neat from the perspective of that in that final mission on the rush to like this library thing. I kept dying over and over and over again. And it's when I realized that you can't stop. You just have to rush forward, kill people in your way, and just keep pushing forward. And once I finally figured that out, it was exhilarating. That mission was amazing. I got to the front of that library, or again, whatever the fuck it was, and by the skin of my teeth, and it
Mm.
felt so good. And this was also, I remember this being a very exciting year for graphics because, hey, these graphics are amazing.
Yeah, they still look
And
good.
I think this was the first game to bring in
Like a lighting or a
it's
thing
it's
going
this
on.
lighting, deferred lighting, which means you can have tons and tons. Before you could have max, like, you could light a thing with like,
One
was it
source.
7 lights total in a scene?
Oh, okay.
It may be less than that, honestly. But in this game you can have, it's not as many as you want, but it's a ton of lights. So like the eyes actually were lighting stuff, those glowing
Oh.
eyes. And like this game still is a stunner to this day.
Yeah.
And then, but that being said, as amazing as this game looks, then you jump to Killzone 3, which is not only way prettier than this, which is already looking great, but it's also plays good.
Yeah. I feel like they look similar in my mind, but
Yeah.
it's just because that second one looks so good.
Yeah, and 3 had a lot brighter lighting, but beyond that, both of these games had, the multiplayer was so fucking good, and I really wish more people played the multiplayer for this because it was amazing, and the level designers for these maps did an amazing job. Seriously, some of the best maps I've ever played,
Nice.
like, in my life.
That's really cool. Yeah. There's been drama recently. What was it, like last weekend? Sony took down. They didn't take down, but they put a disclaimer on the Killzone website saying that they're removing server support and that kind of thing, where they're just gonna basically shut down the website. And what does that mean for the future of Killzone? Which is a bummer because it's a great franchise, and Sony doesn't have a lot of strong first-person shooters. So you think they'd want to lean into that, or like Resistance, which they have too. But
did we talk about this last week?
We didn't, but I just forgot to bring it up.
Or did I just?
We might have read the same article. We're looking at the same.
Maybe we forgot because I popped in while you guys were doing.
Yeah, me and Cal talked about
the PlayStation podcast.
Yep, the PlayStation L2R2 PlayStation podcast.
R2R2.
But yeah, so I'm going through. So this footage looks phenomenal. This is Killzone 2 and 3. Let's chime in and see what Killzone.
Oh, I should say, while you guys were talking about that last week, I was trying to look into it and I couldn't find another Sony exclusive
first-person shooter.
Yeah, I couldn't find one.
They've moved all their kind of first parties to like third world open or third-person open world action games, and that's their bread and butter now. But it's such a bummer because these games are dope. This is the first one.
I mean, this is pretty good looking for, what was this, PS2?
PS2 era, yeah.
Yeah, this is good looking. Supposedly it plays like garbage.
It does. That's my biggest.
Thickest grenade.
Right.
Jesus.
Well, they show you the timing aspect on it.
Oh my God. That's also what they looked like. Did you ever, you never played Team Fortress 1, did you?
No.
So that's what they were like in Team Fortress 1, but you could also throw them at 1,000 miles an hour.
Jesus.
And they bounce like crazy. So people could you could snipe people with grenades in Team Fortress 1. And people would, and they'd snipe around corners with it. Oh man.
That's awesome. Did you have to modify anything in the game to have it, speed that fast, or that was just in the game?
That was just the game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you're just throwing a bullet, basically.
Which was a weird transition to, a bouncing bullet that has AoE. But that was a weird transition from Team Fortress 1 to Team Fortress 2 because there were no grenades.
Oh, really? It's a grenade launcher, I think, right? But that was the most of it.
But I think that class was in the original, so that was a weird move. Gotcha. So you're playing some Killzone.
Playing Killzone, yeah. The gameplay is very floaty, and I'm having a hard time. It's not terrible, but it's like I can't wait to jump into Killzone 2 for sure. Knowing that that's next I just want to speed through this game. But
do you have PSVR?
I do not. Yeah, I am tempted to get it every once in a while. Not that I have the money or anything, but there's stuff like the new Hitman is going to VR. There is Resident Evil 8 is only in PSVR. So yeah, I thought it was going to have some Steam support, but it does not. So yeah, but
there's no way that's true.
It is absolutely true. I looked into it because I wanted to play it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they made some deal with Sony, and it's still going. So
oh man, there was an article about a game I forgot about that I may have to buy a PS5 for. It was one of those I think it was announced twice. I want to say it was one of those games where it's like the time resets every 24 hours, but you're on like some planet or something. It had a really cool trailer.
No, it's not. Obviously not Deathloop. That's not the one, but
no. Although that is the closest we have to a Sony exclusive at this point.
That's true. It's still technically,
but it's also on PC,
right?
So it's not super exclusive.
Yeah, that's a whole genre they're just kind of not thinking they really need to have at least first party. They're gonna have third party stuff there all the time. But
dude, I cannot wait for Deathloop. Deathloop for me is gonna be like, I think part of why I absolutely adored Prey is because I didn't watch any gameplay whatsoever. I basically went in blind.
Nice.
Aside from I knew about the foam gun.
Right.
But going so into blind to that game and discovering everything for myself. So I think Deathloop is going to give me that rush again of fully exploring this world.
For sure. But you have the action of Dishonored in there. Like, I can't wait for that.
Oof. All right, so some Killzone.
Some Killzone. You know what? That's basically it. I did nab from the Nintendo online store. They had this glitch where you could buy that Toad game. Toad Adventure.
Oh, Toad's Treasure Tracker.
Yes, so it was online for $5 when really they're trying to sell the DLC for $5. But, and I happened to be on Twitter, people were noticing that there's a glitch where if you buy that DLC, it gives you the game for free. So I bought the game for $5, and I haven't played it yet, but that is on my list to play.
You should have told me.
But it was
all
like,
over that shit.
but it was like for literally like 15 minutes because people, I think it was
Oh.
Wario64 posted it, and then people were figuring out, okay, like Walmart orders were getting canceled because it was through Walmart. So they figured it out pretty quickly, but there was a window where
I should
could be
follow Wario64. His
Dude.
account is, or her, or whoever's account is way too legit.
oh yeah, there's awesome gaming deals. That's how I got the PS5 when it came out because there's so many different links that they were posting and resharing. And if you're interested in PS5, I would highly suggest following them because anytime Xbox goes live, PS5 goes live, he's on there.
So this reminds me, I saw for the first time ever the non-binary flag. Have you seen this?
No, it's not the trans flag, right?
It is not.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Go ahead and look this up real quick.
Is it
What is literally the first thing you've already kind of been prepped, but what is the first thing you think of when you see that color combination?
well, that's Wario 100%.
That is
I don't know what
Wario.
we're doing here. I like that he's the ambassador for
Right?
non-binary. That's awesome. Nintendo would never like, align because they're so sensitive about everything, but that's definitely Wario's color palette for sure.
I mean, Nintendo accidentally created a trans character very early on.
Did they?
Yeah, they tried to decanonize it, but no one cares. So Birdo is trans. Captain Rainbow is probably gay.
But now Birdo is a different species, though, right? It's not human. But I guess you could still be. It's
Yeah,
just
so if you look at
interspecies.
Birdo,
Okay,
so
we're
Birdo
going down
at
the
least
rabbit hole.
has the what's yeah.
apparently
So Birdo has the big
articles on
bow, but that's a dude.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
According to there's some sort of stuff on that. It originally like so it was due to a translation error.
Gotcha.
And then Nintendo tried to decanonize it, but no one gave a fuck. So
Yeah, just lean into
fuck
it.
yo canon, Nintendo.
But they're also sensitive about there's plenty of like deviant art about Bowserette. Remember that?
Oh, Bowsette.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they just hate people like taking their characters and doing anything with them. But
sure.
Yeah.
Well, they also have the other one is if you type in Captain Rainbow,
okay,
who is
I wish that was my name.
right.
Captain Rainbow.
Captain Rainbow, which
This is a character
yeah.
from what?
Captain Rainbow.
The game?
Yeah, just Captain Rainbow.
Oh, on Wii. Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
So they got some support in there.
Yeah,
Unintentionally.
nice. Well, you opened my eyes. Did not know that. But yeah, one day I'll play that Captain Toad game. Other than that, yeah, just hopping around a bunch of different games and really nothing in particular. But we do have some video game news, Gavin.
Ooh, do we?
We can jump into some of the gaming news. This first one is about Rockstar. A lot of theoretical kind of rumor stuff.
I saw a header of an article about this, but did not look into it.
I see. Well, Gavin, let me take you down story lane.
Why don't you educate me?
Yes. So we got Rockstar patents new NPC tech potentially for GTA 6. This is Matt Purslow of IGN. A patent filed by Take-Two Interactive.
Wait, that says Quadra.
Gavin, doesn't matter, does it?
That is the car from Cyberpunk.
Okay, so it's a mod. Watching footage. It's a mod where they added the Cyberpunk car. Okay.
Oh, it's even got the door. All right.
There you go. A patent filed by Take-Two Interactive details a new Rockstar developed system for managing NPC navigation. This new system is designed to create a realistic virtual world that is not limited by hardware and software limitations. Each NPC can define its own specific characteristics for traversing the road. Additionally, the system is described to work via cloud network communicating with player consoles. If this is being used for GTA 6, it could mean an always-on internet connection would handle the processing for advanced NPC behavior. So to get the general gist of this, Gavin, they're using this. They patented this new NPC tech that uses the cloud to help it navigate through the world and other systems going on too, which is cool. Now people are wondering, because it has to be online, does that mean that the next GTA has to be online? This tech is just for anything. It doesn't have to be for GTA 6, but everyone's trying to connect the dots and wondering if this is going to be in the next GTA. We do talk about cloud computing and wanting people to kind of lean on it more.
Can you go back to that article real quick?
Yeah.
So, all right. Okay, so they patented it potentially. Okay, so yeah, it's not confirmed for GTA.
It is not.
I think if you do this, you absolutely have to have it be an online only game. You can't.
Then do you think they categorize or capitalize on the success of GTA Online and just put out a GTA Online? Or
I could see them doing that. Like, they did an online for this. They did an online for Red Dead, which to my understanding isn't as successful. But if they wanted to make, like, if they went whole hog, no single player, and did a Rockstar online game, and then implemented this, I bet it could go over phenomenally. That being said, I don't know. It'd feel weird to buy a Rockstar game with no single player.
Yeah, see, that's what always brought me into these games, is like with Red Dead, with GTA. I love the single player and the sandbox element of that world. Yeah. And I have no interest in playing always online or always multiplayer. But they're making so much money doing that. It's like, what if they just lean into that? Because that's where they're finding all the success. So
I've been playing so much Cyberpunk, I'm not used to like the cars in the distance working. Like, these are still glitching out a little bit, but they're working way better than
oh, for sure. And we'll get into some Cyberpunk drama that happened over the weekend too. But you're right, where the traffic system is not at all on this level on Cyberpunk. But yeah, there's also some rumors that were being bounced around online. These are still, they're unsubstantiated. Nope, that's not the right word. Unsubstantiated, unsubscribed.
You were close.
So PC Gamer has the general outline. Some rumors point to a Vice City return, others to South America, which we talked about a year ago, but nothing official. A female protagonist rumor is also gaining traction, along with some GTA infusion into single player. So there's that little bit of online into the single player. Sure. Female protagonist, people were kind of course, like the trolls online were like, I'm not going to buy this if there's a chick in it. How do you feel with a female protagonist? I'm fine. I think it'd be dope if they go a different route.
I guess I'm kind of surprised it hasn't happened by now.
Exactly.
Like, I don't.
That'd be a great way to refresh it too, because it's like been the same kind of rinse repeat. Yeah, the last one had 3 characters that was unique, but otherwise it's kind of the same thing. Unless they go full, like, you can customize your character completely and make your own person.
I don't foresee a Rockstar game doing that.
Yeah.
These are fully built characters, right, and that's what makes them so entertaining. They're a character, and if you're going to do that, you don't want to film both like a male version and a female version. Just pick one, go whole hog into it. Don't record these scenes twice.
Although Cyberpunk did just that too, but there's a lot more work involved in. Although I'm sure Rockstar could handle that, but I wouldn't mind it, because there's been a lot of games that have had huge success with female protagonists. You have Horizon, the Tomb Raider franchise. There's other ones I'm blanking on. It's like, that doesn't mean it's gonna.
BioWare game, Mass Effect.
Oh, you could choose the character in that one too, but.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Oh, you're talking. Sorry, I misunderstood what you were saying. Okay, continue.
Okay, I was saying there's other huge games that have had success with female protagonists. So it's not like it is going to limit this whole group of a player base or customer base by going female only. If the story's dope, then that's all that really matters.
Right.
And they can handle story, like they've proven that time and time again. So.
Right.
I think it's just people react, like when they see a chick on the front of the next battlefield or whatever, they're like, oh, they were in World War One. It's like, they were, but also it doesn't fucking matter. These are fictional tales or like recreations of what's going on.
Yeah.
And so who really cares? But
it's never. I mean, that's the thing. It's never ruined my immersion, and it's definitely one of those, like, you look at Last of Us 2. That's why I think if it's very specifically authored, gender doesn't matter. If it's fucking Pokemon, where my gender doesn't matter, then let me pick either gender.
Exactly.
So that's sort of the way, I kind of look at it. But
Last of Us 2 is a great example of this huge game that made success, where you are the main, like the main character is female, and everyone fucking played that game and loved it. So, well, it had views on it anyways, but it made crazy sales. So when GTA does this, like, it would fully squash that being a question at all. So maybe just to prove that they can, they should as well. But
I guess it's sort of like doing that. People freaking out about that, and I doubt there's actually that many people freaking out about it. I think
no,
you do this 10 years ago, there would be.
maybe.
But it sort of makes me think of like, it's almost like that Joker thing where it's like, oh, you got a cast of all white soldiers and no one bats an eye.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But they're all black and everyone's freaking out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, times are changing. They need to adjust that too, so we can
watch GTA video where one of the original GTA games had a female character.
Yeah, so Megan's saying in the chat that I've seen some kind of GTA compilation video online where they go into the history of GTA games, and there's been a female character already. It's very possible, and I blacked it out, and maybe I was sleepwalking somewhere. She apparently watched it, and I was just there being a zombie. But
was it one of the original two?
I'm thinking maybe, or one of the like weird mobile offshoots or something, but it doesn't come to mind. But it's very possible that happened. So Megan is the video game expert when it comes to GTA.
I don't.
Yeah, right. Nothing comes to mind, but I'm sure it's happened, and apparently we watched a video on it. So
I am straining my noggin.
Yes, don't strain too hard, Gavin. So that's really it for GTA news. I mean, they're working hard on it. You have to imagine we're gonna get something eventually, but I wouldn't see it anytime soon. Now this game, Gavin, is also not coming anytime soon, but it's pretty dope. So this is a new dev video for Ninja Theory's Project Mara. I know you're super crunk on this. This one, they just released this new footage on the game itself, and really just like the mechanics of how they're building the world behind the scenes.
I have no idea what this is. So.
It's pretty cool. So this is from Ninja Theory. This is their next game, but they've showed just like kind of concept footage or early in-engine stuff. But this is them kind of behind the scenes building it. But you're playing this character, and it's touching on like mental health issues, and it's like based on real stories with people. But they're scanning this hotel or this apartment complex, and literally scanning one and then putting it into the game. So they're going for like ultra photorealistic. And so this is a dev diary they released, and there's a little bit of in-engine stuff that they'll show. So here's a good comparison. I'll slide through, but they're showing like the wood. They're able to make it so it's up close. You get that texture. This is rendered. So this is in the engine, and the carpet, as they zoom in, has the actual like texture of a carpet at that level. Yeah,
that's not even necessary.
It's not, but it's fucking badass. I cannot wait to play this. But yeah, so this is on the docket from them. Of course, their next game is still Senua's Sacrifice, but this is something they're working on as well. I don't know when this would come out. I feel like it's still a good 2 years away at least.
Good God, that's a lot of polygons. Jeez,
yeah, and they talked about using
that new Unreal 5 or what the fuck?
They haven't said officially, but they talked about to scan the world, they use this LiDAR tech and other tech to try and like just get as much detail, and then they go in afterwards and just tweak it more.
This how realistic this is makes me think of, if you can look this up real quick, it's called The Suicide of Rachel Foster.
That sounds familiar.
I may have told you about it because the trailer looked creepy. But this game, when I was playing it, it has two settings, garbage and high.
Okay.
And but when you're actually in this game looks so fucking realistic. I think it looks better on your PC than it will in videos. See if you can't skip ahead a little bit and find this lighting. I mean, it's all pre-baked lighting. These lights don't move. God, it's just realistic looking. That's what it made me think of. My old computer ran this like garbage.
Yeah, with the pre-baked lighting stuff, I definitely wouldn't. I'm a huge RTX fan. I know you always you're a hater, but there's definitely times where it can be used in awesome ways where it doesn't always have to be rendered right then and there. Especially if it's like not a place that has to be dynamic with lighting. You can take advantage of that and make something crazy beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. Combining the two is not a problem. Is this a speed run?
It's the full game. We're watching footage of it.
Look
Already
at this fucking shit. That's
and the reflections. My boner gets super hard for reflection. So, or mirrors too. That reminds me of Hitman. I'm playing the Hitman 1, and there's mirrors galore. I love it. Everything has a mirror on it, and it works.
That being said, don't play this game. The story looks like it's going somewhere, and then you get to the end, and you're just pissed. Or at least I was. Most people's opinions I've gotten on this one afterwards are just like, that was such a fucking shitty ending.
That's a bummer. Is it scary, spooky, or is it going for like a walking simulator thing, or it's a story that's driving the gameplay? Like what's kind of the carrot?
Well, I mean, it's definitely spooky, scary. It's definitely a walking simulator. It's like, I don't know. It's like Firewatch, but with really good graphics. I mean, like realistic graphics, I should say. but then with some spooky scary, and then it looks like it's kind of go like X-Files ish.
But there's no payoff, or not one that you liked at the end.
Yeah, and that just has a shitty payoff.
That's a bummer. Yeah, but the fidelity, the quality of that looks really dope. So, but yeah, we're still super early on Project Mara, but I liked seeing that little update there.
That'd be impressive.
We do have Hitman 3 drops today, and there's a bunch of reviews out now. It's got an 83 Metacritic score. So we can go through some of the little blurbs here from the big outlets. We have IGN gives it a 90. Rich, rewarding, and highly replayable, Hitman 3 is one of the barcoded butcher's best appearances. Push Square gives it a 90 as well. On its own, Hitman 3 is a moody conclusion to a generation-defining trilogy, but when taken as a complete compilation... Ooh, Gazoon type. But when taken as a complete compilation, it's the ultimate stealth sandbox. I did include this little blurb too. There's a announced on Twitter by IO Interactive Hitman 3 cloud version for the Nintendo Switch. It's the exact same version of the other platforms, but it's a cloud-based version that requires online. So yeah, it's coming to Switch through streaming.
Interesting.
We talked a little bit about Hitman already, but do you have interest in jumping into these? Have you tried the new IO reboot of this?
I would consider it. I definitely. It sounds like there's a lot of freedom and trying to experiment and find all crazy ways to kill the target.
Right.
So that sounds like fun to me, getting to express myself through that. I hear these once all the DLC started coming out and it kind of became complete. I hear these games are amazing.
Yeah, so the little bit that I played maybe 4 hours of the first one, and I'm really digging the different levels, the way you can tackle all these different not only the missions themselves, but like there's a bunch of different achievements or challenges within the mission. And there's just like a crazy amount of replayability, and they'll kind of move stuff around and offer different ways to approach it. It's really cool. Right. And they keep like up an ante every release. So there's even more ways to kill people and things that you'll miss out on if you're not listening to a conversation. You'll realize that's a route you can take as well. So you have to kind of be in the right spot at the right time. So it's, yeah, highly replayable.
One of the things I heard about this particular one is they said it's more of the same, but that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. That's why I'm kind of waiting and I'm playing the first two, because it's like if it's going to be just a prettier version on PS5, I think I'll get my fill of the first two, give it some time, and then jump into the third when it's on sale or something.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it looks dope. I did hear, so there's been some, not reviews yet, but impressions on the PSVR version of Hitman 3.
Ooh.
And apparently it's a little more rough with how because you have to use a controller still, apparently. And it's just kind of not a mess, but it's not as cool as those trailers kind of showed it. But I do want to eventually try it and actually wait for some real reviews of it. But
will this be coming to PC? I would assume
it is on PC as well. Yeah.
Okay.
The VR version might still be locked to PSVR, like not Silent Hill, but like Resident Evil 7 as well. But I'm digging it. I have no idea what the story is. I know we talk about the story. I could really care less. It's just I want to find these cool ways, wacky ways to kill people.
I'm very curious to see what these guys do
with Bond. Yeah. I think that world just transcends easily for this. It's a great idea for them to take over that franchise. But yeah, reviews are strong. People are digging it. We can move on to the next one here. We got Hogwarts Legacy is delayed until 2022. I have a little.
Is this that next gen?
Yes, Harry Potter game. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Andrew Webster from
gen, we should say.
You're right, current gen. Andrew Webster from The Verge has the article. One of the year's biggest games has been delayed. Today or last week, Warner Bros. Announced that Hogwarts Legacy, an open world action role-playing game set in the Harry Potter universe, will be launching next year instead of 2021. And the dev has a quote there. I find it interesting to pull this one up as well because Jason Schreier, who's a Bloomberg News and well-known news reporter in the video game industry, he says that the first of many 2021 game delays to come in reference to this one. So the gears start turning. What else could be delayed that's high profile that would be at this level? Everyone's wondering about God of War 2.
Yes.
That's
100%.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I don't see why they needed to announce it when they did the way they did anyways, by adding this 2021 tagline, because I just don't see how it's in any way ready to go.
This looks like a last gen game.
I think it's cross, so that might be why it's not not gonna look crazy great. It might perform better on next gen consoles, but so this one is delayed, and I think I'm fine with that. I wasn't like waiting in the wings for this, but they'll have more time. That's cool. But yeah, I think what's on the chopping block potentially is God of War 2. I think Horizon, at least with like PlayStation titles, Horizon's safe. I think Halo's got to be safe, right? Because they gave them an extra year.
This lighting, though.
Yeah, the lighting on the footage is dope.
Holy shit.
But like Halo, I feel like that's safe. They gave them another year to work on that. I don't think that would be another high-profile delay.
I don't know. It depends on how many more directors they lose in the process here.
True. But I feel like another year is should be good enough. But
I would assume Dying Light was that delayed indefinitely?
I think they moved it to this year, but it still doesn't have a definite time or a date rather.
Losing their writer, I'm sure, is gonna seriously fuck up things because you got to be able to match up the quality.
Yeah, very true.
How does Megan feel about the delay of the Hogwarts Legacy as the resident Harry Potter fan?
She is the fan, but I don't know if this game was on her radar. I showed her a trailer and she thought, yeah, that's cool. But I mean, her jam is Skyrim through and through. She'll boot that up to the end of time. So, but this one might be enough to bring her in. She's a super nerd for all the lore and Harry Potter and has read many of the books and yeah. So maybe when this comes out and there's some actual footage, she might jump on board. But yeah, that's been delayed. We'll see what happens with other delays this year. I'm sort of nervous. So we got to this is some cool news. Last week, right after we met, we got some. So Megan did chime in. She says, "I don't care about Hogwarts." So fair enough.
Doesn't even like Harry Potter.
Yeah. So we got Disney brings LucasArts back in the form of Lucasfilm Games. This is from last week. 2 new projects were announced. One being an out of left field new Indiana Jones game being developed by Machine Studios, the dev behind the recent Wolfenstein revival. The next project is an open world game being developed by Ubisoft's Massive Entertainment, the developer known for open world third person shooter The Division. And then EA recently commented that they will continue to make Star Wars games under their contract with Disney until 2023 and beyond. So at least 2 games that they're now venturing out for other devs to work on, either Star Wars or Lucasfilm related projects, games rather, with Machine Games. So they make the Wolfenstein games now. How do you feel about them tackling an Indiana Jones game?
I don't,
because their kind of bread and butter is first person shooters. Do you think that transfers over well?
I really like that when Wolfenstein came back. That being said, I even liked the Wolfenstein before that. It was surprisingly good.
Yeah.
But yeah, when Wolfenstein came back, that was awesome. Then there was the next Wolfenstein where the Nazis come to America.
Right.
And I hear the one after that was terrible.
Yeah, I played a little bit of that. It was almost like DLC or like standalone DLC.
Yeah, with the daughters or whatever.
It wasn't terrible, but I never finished it. I just would play the first hour and just kind of get caught with something else. But
supposedly it gets just full of bullshit.
Apparently, yeah, I heard the same thing.
Is this the teaser then?
It's a teaser. It's super short. It's like literally a couple seconds just announcing that they're working on it. But I find this one interesting because it's not, when you tackle Indiana Jones in a world now that we're post with Uncharted, with Tomb Raider, that they're going to be compared to that like easily, right? So they have to make sure that they're on that same level. Yeah. So the fact that they make these first person shooters and they're going to this presumably like third world action adventure kind of game, I think they wouldn't take that on unless they knew they could do it. So that makes me trust that they can kill this, but it is kind of a risk to jump into this and such a huge property too.
I think the exciting thing for them is as a developer, they get to do, because all the games they've done before, to my understanding, I don't know anything before Wolfenstein, but they had to capture the essence of that sort of id Software, the Doom style of gameplay, you know, make me think, make me move,
right?
And really stick with that. This is their chance to make a completely different style of gameplay that they've never done before. And the last time we got that, we got Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah,
that's the thing. That's a great example.
So
it's possible. Like, and I think that revitalizes the team. They can challenge themselves by doing something different. So I'm sure they wouldn't tackle unless they knew they could actually be compared to like Uncharted and Tomb Raider. So
yeah,
but that was interesting.
This does remind me. I think we should pull up can you? All right, while we're on YouTube, yes. Indiana Jones, and then replace game with Euphoria demo.
Euphoria demo.
I'm gonna need them to bring back this. So back before Grand Theft Auto 4 came along, there was a demo for this physics system. Oh man, these graphics have aged.
Was it Lucas Games then? Because I guess they'd be the only entity that could like use
I think they were gone by this point.
Oh, really?
I could be wrong. Yeah, for PlayStation 3 and 360. But they had this new physics system that would affect, like, not only did you, it's like your ragdoll physics were somewhat alive, and so like the animations were kind of procedural. Are you able to skip forward a teeny bit?
Yeah.
Or maybe, all right.
What's procedural about it?
Well, now this is something, this was basically in, so like you knock somebody off of
like their balance?
So he'll react somewhat realistically to being,
okay.
No, this is just pre-canned animation so far. I think part of it, like you'd be riding on a car and then you hit. This looks so bad. There you go.
That guy just flew. I don't know what's realistic about that.
Wow, these look worse than. All right, so oh man, this is okay. So maybe we'll get something. Oof.
So he's bouncing on a trolley car, but
time has not done well to this demo. So like you're supposed to be able to hit somebody. I'm just now realizing how pre-canned this whole demo is. There you go. Physics. That's what it probably looked like in Grand Theft Auto 4.
It looks a bit standard now, but I guess at this time, this is still them pushing the physics tech a little bit with like ragdoll stuff.
Man, how far we've come. This was revolutionary at the time. There was nothing this level of fusion between ragdoll and animation.
Oh, I see what you mean. Gotcha.
Maybe this is it. But yeah, you could
like
punch a guy and like they'd fling over. Ooh, this is...
It's rough. So apparently it was canceled. Yeah, I never heard about this. It's interesting.
Oof, this is...
Yeah.
Kind of wish... Yeah, you can see that guy climbing up and it's a fusion of ragdoll and canned animation.
It looks worse somehow.
Looks so bad. But again, this is the... Oh, God, it's so bad. But that would have been amazing for the time. Like, this is the technology that powered Grand Theft Auto 4's ragdoll / regular animations and also the terrible car physics.
Yeah, I think in the lens of this time period, those physics are pretty cool. But
it's crazy to think that this was considered amazing.
Yeah. To you, apparently. This is never... I've never seen this.
No, this would have been at the time.
Sure.
Some of the animate... Oh, fuck.
But yeah, and then Uncharted said, hold my beer, and they basically did all this stuff.
Right. There you go. He's trying to figure out how to climb up. That was AI driven. Oh man, get it. Oh, out of my house.
So the next one, now you're a huge Division fan. So that same dev team is working on some kind of game in the Star Wars universe. I guess presumably like third person action shooting related. With them tackling that Star Wars universe, what would you like to see them? What would you like to see them do in that universe?
Breath of the Wild with lightsabers.
Breath of the Wild with
twist.
lightsabers.
I made that demo.
Did you? Okay.
I was showing all my friends that demo. I thought it was the coolest thing. I think that was my freshman year. What was that? 2017? That's not when that video came out.
You mean like 2007, like freshman high school or freshman college? Oh, okay.
So I think that would have been 2008.
Gotcha.
Division 2. Good old Division.
Yeah, when
I just want Breath of the Wild with Jedis. Fucking gimme.
Okay. Do you think they would go that, or would it be still like shooting based kind of thing with lightsabers? Because knowing their credentials.
Or hear me out here.
Mm-hmm.
We combine the Outer Worlds with the Mandalorian.
Dope.
I'm done. I mean, that show is side mission the game.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's one of the best video game movies ever with how they tackle like
the
progression.
Best video game movie to ever be a show.
Yeah, it's nuts. But now, because I don't think I'd liked that. I don't think that gameplay transcends to the Mandalorian directly. The story progression does with like Outer Worlds, but
like jumping from planet to planet and going around to the different areas.
Yeah, but I do like the credentials with Massive Entertainment. No, is it?
Right.
Yeah, Massive Entertainment. With their work with Division, like I've never really played a bunch of these, but it seems like the gameplay is always super tight. If they can really match the story to that, then I think they have a huge success on their hands.
I don't want an always online game. Like
I think that's what you're getting,
Division.
But yeah,
I hope not. But...
I think that's what makes a lot of money nowadays, and they're gonna go full force into that. But the Mandalorian, there's a lot of comparisons online with having them tackle that world with their kind of game engine, with the way they make third-person shooters. I think that would work really well. But the story has to also match up with it too. But there's a lot of, is there very much combat, like hand-to-hand combat in Division? Or is it really just
Absolutely
shooting?
none.
Gotcha. And that's the thing with Mandalorian. He's always like, on dudes hand-to-hand. So in addition to like the shooting and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you made it a shooter, would you really be that mad though?
I think if you leave that out of the Mandalorian game, like if that's what they go with.
You got the
then that'd be
flamethrower, you got to take on those giant monsters
Sure.
with all the...
I hope that they do something related to that. But either way, I think them doing something in the Star Wars world is going to be great because they nail this gunplay. You just replace the guns with laser blasters, you're all set.
If you hear a Star Wars game where you can make out with Kylo Ren,
I think a lot of people are asking for that. Yeah,
I'm in it.
I might be out of commission as a husband, but if that game exists. So yeah, they announced those are 2 awesome titles or potential titles, and I think a lot of people are happy that now EA isn't the only one making Star Wars games too. For sure.
Right. I guess I didn't think about it that way. That's a very good point.
Yes, Gavin. So we'll go on to our next one here. This one was just a cool thing I found online. Xbox showed off this little controller here. Did you see this at all?
Did Xbox themselves actually show this
So
off?
they tweeted it, but it's made in Canada. It was like a one-off controller that someone in Canada made. So it's like a full piece. Was it?
Now, is this real or is this a Photoshop job?
This is real.
It is real.
Yeah, it's from Xbox Canada. The Canadian tuxedo is now a 3-piece suit. Canadian tuxedo is a one of a kind, but let us know what your dream Canadian theme controller would be. So there's some other ones that they announced as well that I thought would be pretty cool if you want to check these out too, Gavin.
I think we have to. Oh,
yeah,
boy,
so we got some potential.
That is just...
So now keeping in that theme, there's also
needs no explanation. We have the Tiger King here.
Got the Tiger King controller. I think
trending with POTUS 46. I'll be honest. Like, apparently there were betting pools for who was going to get pardoned.
Right.
In the last day. If I had found like a good website to bet, I totally would have bet on this guy and lost money.
Yeah, he was asking for one, right? Tiger King.
Yeah,
for sure. So we got the Tiger King controller. So these are totally legit, announced by Xbox. We got another one here.
How do you hold that? You don't.
Corduroy, keeping with that jean theme. We got a corduroy themed one.
Now, is there velour? That would be the ultimate. We have the Jinko jeans.
Got the Jinko
here.
jeans one, right?
Ooh, those are the picture of the kids wearing them. That is so much worse than I remember. I don't know if that's photoshopped. I don't think it is.
It's for the ICP crowd out there, Gavin.
Oh, that is just so bad.
So we got the Jinko jeans one. So we got the Kanye West strip, the torn for some reason hoodies.
That is not a $2,000 hoodie.
His stuff is crazy expensive, and then the whole idea is that it looks raggedy, but it's crazy expensive. So,
oh
yeah. So we got another one.
Yeah, you could have been our president.
Could have been. We got a thriller themed. It's pretty dope. Got that thriller drip. We got some Kim K, or Lil Kim rather.
That dress is amazing. Solid job, Kim. That is.
Yeah, it's gravity defying or defying. No,
gravity defying.
Grang defying. Yes, Granny defying is what I meant.
Granny defying. I don't know what you're trying to say. I assumed it was gravity defying due to how perky a woman of her age's boobs are. Yes. But apparently I am incorrect.
You're correct, but then I like the idea of granny defying.
Granny.
So we got some other ones here.
We
got a Bjork theme.
This okay. Yeah, all right. Sure.
Cool.
That sounds like her.
You got some love for Craig there. Craig's whole custom controller.
Now we need Bernie's Mittens edition.
Yes. That'd be dope. And then lastly, they got the Cyberpunk Apology controller. It's good to see they're working with
is this a
CD
format
Projekt
that somebody made? A meme format for
These
this?
are legit controllers you can find, Gavin. You just gotta look hard enough.
Yeah?
Yeah. So they showed that off. Speaking of Cyberpunk, there was some drama over the weekend. We got CD Projekt Red response to Cyberpunk launch issue. So it's a full-blown thing, but we're just going to get little excerpts from it. Their CEO or co-founder, rather, Marcin Lewinsky, did this full-blown apology video. This is a month now after the release, but here's some little quotes from him. I and the entire leadership team are deeply sorry for the substandard quality of the console versions of Cyberpunk 2077. And this video is me publicly owning up to that. Lewinsky said in the video. There's some drama for how we responded to QA testing. So speaking about the QA internal testing,
totally believe that.
Our testing did not show a big part of the issues players experience while playing the video or playing the game, the console versions.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so we talked about before, QA testers are the first, that's their job, is to report on bugs and whatnot. So they for sure knew what was going on. They just, decided, hey, we don't have enough time. We're not going to deal with it.
Well, and they said they were taking extra time because they needed to test or 7 versions or whatever of this game.
Sure.
So did those versions not count? No, they counted. The people working on it knew about it. Like this.
Yeah. At the end of the day, everyone knew. They just higher ups decided, you know what, we're just gonna keep going with it.
Yeah.
But so that video came out, and then at that same weekend, Jason Schreier again of Bloomberg put out this tell-all. He interviewed 20 current and former Projekt CD Red staff. So this is inside Cyberpunk 2077's disastrous rollout. So it's a very long article. I just took some excerpts. I would recommend everyone read it. So the game's impressive. Well, this is a hot button part of that article. The game's impressive E3 2018 demo is described as almost entirely fake. CD Projekt Red hadn't yet finalized and coded the underlying gameplay systems, which is why so many features such as car ambushes were missing from the final product. Developers said they felt like the demo was a waste of dev time. Devs who worked on the game argued QA testing did find the main bugs / performance issues on console, saying there just wasn't enough time to fix them. They responded back. Adam Badowski of studio head of CD Projekt Red, he says, what the people reading in your article may not know is that games are not made in a linear fashion and start looking like the final product only a few months before launch.
Sure.
Yeah, I found a little bit, I didn't agree with the wording with the demo being fake because...
So is this the demo?
This is the actual demo, yeah.
So this looks like the game.
Yeah, it looks pretty close. I
did notice, by the way, so very shortly after release, my crowd densities increased.
Interesting.
So I don't know what's going on with that, but like originally wasn't. It's probably not quite this crowded, but it recently has gotten more crowded. So I don't know if they tweaked something.
So I haven't played in a good maybe 3 weeks. So there might have been some other updates to improve that. So it's possible.
Yeah.
But the issue was that the mechanics going on were not pre-baked, but like pre-programmed. It wasn't like the game engine handling this. That's what the article claims. If that's going on,
I mean, that's very industry standard for that to happen.
I think that's the fold of it is that the fact that there are a lot of situations where this happens. Look at God of War. They basically worked on that demo first and got that playable, and then kind of built the game further around that. So it happens where the demo is what they focus on to show it off.
That shader though, with that tube in the background, that is exactly how that looks in the final game though.
Okay.
Like a lot of these things I'm seeing, I don't know. I mean, this looks like the game. This looks like what I played.
It does. At the very least, the PC version I think looks very much like this. It was the whole issue is like with the console versions for sure. But
the UI has probably changed up a tiny bit, but
right. But yeah, the whole like idea of it being fake are that these things weren't ready for the engine to handle. They're just kind of rendered or made to function the way they are so that they could show this off in the demo. But the game wasn't really at that level yet. So a little bit of misleading, but at the end of the day, I do think that happens in the industry.
Yeah, it's very industry standard.
But that's
Which
aside
sucks
from,
because that slows down production of the game. So many studios will do it where you stop and you work on your E3 demo for far too long.
Sure.
But
yeah, that's annoying. That it's almost like you have to pay the bills where you have to put something out so they can get pre-orders and whatnot. But that means at the cost of working on the actual game.
Yeah.
So it's a bummer. But that article that from Jason Schreier, they go into detail with a lot of people in the...
Something I want to point out here, something I've noticed in this game is the lighting in cars is garbage. So
I think it'd be a little bit better because they can kind of just handle lighting there, right?
Yeah, it's something... It's not ready for it. I don't know if it's better with RTX on. In this, it looks not terrible, but especially when there's a lot of light, everything looks super flat.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a interesting article. They talk about in depth with various people from the dev team, talking about how they often when a new date would be announced, they didn't realize that was going on, and they expected this game to be fully ready like 2022 at the very least, and they were rushed out the door. They knew about the bugs, but CD Projekt Red, at least higher ups, decided to just launch it.
That's the gal I had sex with.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Good old Meredith South. Surprise sex.
Surprise sex.
I scissored her, which confused me.
Hey,
I'm just not up on the modern day.
I'm not mad at it.
Things.
But yeah, they go into crazy detail, and it's just super interesting to read what was apparently going on the inside. I know they attempted, CD Projekt Red, their plan was to release this current or last gen rather, and get it to release a next gen version, just like Rockstar did with GTA. So Rockstar released right before that next gen launched, and we're able to sell it again for the full price when those next gen games, the consoles came out. that was their attempt with this one, which is really why they're trying to rush out the door.
But that doesn't make sense because they said this was a current gen game, and they said the next gen upgrade is gonna happen later, but it doesn't work on current gen consoles. It only works on
exactly. I think they needed a lot more time than they thought because their plan was to double dip basically like GTA did, but they couldn't even make that time frame.
Their own logic does not make sense.
Yeah, it's just been interesting a week for them, and the apology and the expose article, and it's not good over there. You can also find the game now for $30.
Ooh.
So PS4, also Xbox.
So it's back on sale?
It is not. You can't get you can't get the
physical editions?
Yeah, physical edition. You can't get the game on the PSN, but you can still buy it on Xbox Live. But yeah, the physical editions are the ones that are basically half in price right now.
But yes, you're correct. It does say work in progress does not represent
very true.
The final look of the game.
Very true.
But I mean, to be fair, this is what the game looks like now.
Right,
if you're playing on a high-end PC.
Well, we're circling around the detail is that the fact that the article claims that while this looks like the game, this wasn't actually done in engine all the way. So they were kind of showing that this could be done and claiming this is an engine when it really wasn't. That's the heart of that claim.
Right. And it would have been current or last gen at that point.
Right.
Although definitely the thing about when he was saying they didn't find it in testing, like, yeah, you absolutely found that in testing.
Yep.
You pushed it out anyway. I do like that he said, don't blame the devs. It was executives.
Yeah, but then says QA didn't find this, but it's like bullshit they did. So why throw them under the bus with that comment? It's very strange. I do want to see that guy included. Various higher ups at CD Projekt Red step down. I feel like they need if they're really going to be, if the buck stops with them, they need to leave and allow for other management to not let this happen again.
I don't know. I'm not currently of that mind. I think this mess up could have been worse. I think they're still, this sucks. But we've had other companies pull more bullshittery where people really need to step down and they fucking don't. That
happens a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not of the head on a pike as of this point, but yeah, it does suck for people with the last gen stuff.
For sure.
Not that that's what you're saying, not trying to put words in your mouth, but I think there's a lot of people out there.
I say tase them. Maybe not head in the pike, but tase them, take them outside and pull their pants down, something. But otherwise, they're just kind of proceeding as normal with the exec. So
sure,
it's a bummer. So this next one here is just this really cool mod. I guess it's been worked on for a while, and it's a huge Fallout New Vegas mod. So this is massive Fallout New Vegas mod. The Frontier is finally out. There's some footage of it right now too. So we got this article from Kotaku. Eric Van Allen has it. A mod years in the making, launched just last Friday, and it was a launch so big it took Nexus mods with it. Fallout the Frontiers.
Does that mean they crashed the site?
They did for a little while, yeah.
Nice.
So Fallout the Frontier is essentially a new game built into Fallout New Vegas. The Frontier has 3 major quest lines aligning with the New California Republic, the Northern Legion, or the Crusaders of Steel, and over 60 side quests as well as new items and additions to your carrier's arsenal. There are also tens of thousands of new voiced lines of dialogue. Oh, and you can drive tanks, vertibirds, and cars.
Vertibirds? Really? Wow.
It's pretty dope. They're like just fully supporting this this game, and this is like a huge update. You can buy this now. So I kind of forgot about it over the weekend.
You can buy the mod then.
You can buy the mod. And really, they've kind of streamlined the whole mod process. So you can go through Nexus Mods, which is like highly used hub for mods. But you can also just, through their website, download it, and it just seamlessly works with New Vegas. You don't have to go through a bunch of stuff. Nexus does let you modify stuff further, but you can just like easily implement this mod. Yeah, so Megan asked, why have you been playing this? Yeah, I honestly forgot. That was my attempt over the weekend that was the plan anyways, and I forgot. But
my biggest concern about this would be, one of my favorite things about Fallout is that it's so funny. Very regular. Like a lot of times it's sad, but there's so many times.
There's a lot of dark humor in it for sure.
Yeah, very, very dark humor. I would be concerned about throwing this in the hands of a team that's not from the Fallout team.
True, but if they're doing this by passion, by the love of this franchise, hopefully they also take the writing in the same degree. But if anything, at least the content they added aside from that, it looks really dope.
Yeah.
And this takes place in Portland too, which is like this area untouched in the lore. So they can kind of create their own little area here and just take what they want with it.
What is... Whoa!
Yeah, we got various weapons.
Tasing bears.
Nuclear bears. Yeah, it looks super dope, and I need to try this. I don't think the mod is very much either. I think it's pretty cheap.
Driving a tank.
But yeah, they showed that off. Finally came out. Apparently it's been worked on for a while.
Sure.
This one is pretty interesting. So this is Mortal Kombat player disqualified from tournament for criticizing devs.
Jeez.
So a little bit from the article here. This is from Kotaku, Ian Walker. During an official Mortal Kombat 11 Pro competition tournament on January 16th, finalist Titanium Tigers was disqualified after jokingly calling out developer NetherRealm Studios by labeling his Shiva variation as "Why did NRS do this?"
NRS?
Yeah, NetherRealm
Studios. Okay.
The variation name Titanium Tigers told Kotaku was supposed to be a very mild criticism of Shiva's strengths. Shiva has been a hot topic in competitive Mortal Kombat 11 lately due to her unblockable dragon drop stomp attack.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so here's the actual clip here. And I guess they handle it kind of weird because the announcers don't really know what's going on.
Titanium Tigers does make him bleed here.
That's a live match.
He's bleeding all over the place. Every bit that he moves. Looks like we got a bad transition here. I lost the...
Yeah, so they were not expecting to switch back to them.
Oh.
Nice. So, unfortunately, looks like we have a little problem here. And someone is being...
Situation.
We got a situation. I don't know what we can publicly say, but we definitely have a situation here. And
let's go
we're
with that.
Going to have to cut away from the match. So, just bear with us. We're going to get everything sorted out, and hopefully we'll have a statement for you soon. Oh, look at that.
So that's basically it. But the behind the scenes...
Yes.
Yeah, the behind the scenes is NetherRealm didn't like his very safe, tame criticism of that move that Shiva has. And so mid-match, they dropped him from the tournament. And so they didn't tell him right then and there either. He had to go to Kotaku. They did that interview, and he mentioned like if it was an issue where they didn't like his name, he would have just changed the name. But he was given an opportunity to do that.
What the fuck? Like, even, like, what's his name over in China is just like, you guys got some thin skin over there. Like, that's the tamest.
Right. Yeah, as far as, criticisms go.
And they caught that very early on into the match.
Apparently.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb, and I was catching that online. People were pretty angry. NetherRealm hasn't put out a response or anything yet. I think they're just going to try and hope people forget about it.
The shitty thing about this, so Mortal Kombat, at least from what I've seen in the fighting game community, Mortal Kombat doesn't appear to be as popular as a lot of the other fighting games. So if you want to, be competitive at Mortal Kombat, you have to participate in official Mortal Kombat tournaments run by NetherRealm.
Oh.
So if you're kicked out, you're fucked.
Yeah.
So that really sucks. The good news is you can go play a better game.
What about your boy? Is it Sonic Fox? Like he's
this
huge
is when he
into
came
Mortal
up.
Kombat.
Like he came up with this when he was a teenager.
But I mean, I feel like that's why it's still a big scene in the whole fighting game scene.
I think it's fun to. I think as far as fighting games go, it's extremely fun to watch. And especially when Sonic Fox. But I don't. Memory serves correct. I don't think he's been playing these in a while. He's been all over.
I know he jumps around, right?
Yeah, he's crazier for being able to play multiple games at top tier levels. But he's the big Dragon Ball FighterZ Z guy right now.
Gotcha. But yeah, I thought you'd get a kick out of that. It's pretty dumb and very tame for getting banned.
Dumb. Like, can you go outside with skin that thin?
Right.
Like, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
somebody there is super
know.
sensitive. Yes, and so Gavin went on this last video here, Atomic Heart. So I know you're super crunk on this game.
Oh yeah.
They put out a RTX trailer showing off the ray tracing.
Fuck. I do have one thing to show after this, but
yes, you're right.
God damn.
And real quick, That Kid Flower says I watch Sonic Fox when I want to watch crazy combos. Yeah, I've seen little bits of his stuff, and it's insane.
He's an absolute beast. But to be fair, those are the games he plays. He will play games where you can combo all day. Man, if Atomic Hearts just does what Cyberpunk
are they the same comparable experiences?
This arguably looks better in my opinion.
Oh, for visuals, okay.
Yeah, like this is. I mean, this is more of a BioShock game anyway.
Yeah.
But fuck, this is just, it's so pretty.
This is very BioShocky, but I'm absolutely down. So it's pretty short, just showing off a little bit of the ray tracing. I could have used more reflections showing things off, but this game might have more, just different textures going on too. with this rundown hotel, and there's mirrors everywhere. And
well, you can see it with those shadows. I think maybe they're probably showing off the ray trace shadows, which I love ray trace shadows. I wish the ray trace shadows in Cyberpunk looked better. I didn't realize those are on by default on my rig, which is neat to find out. But they don't look as good as like the ones in Call of Duty.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, I always forget about the shadows. That's a huge component to RTX or ray tracing.
Yeah.
And I'm always looking for reflections and whatnot, lighting, but shadows are a big deal. Nice. So I don't think we have a date yet on that, and I'm hoping it's 2021. Really want to play this.
I'm sure. I mean, it's been in development forever. It's looked amazing for forever. So the game, have you heard of a game called Redout?
Redout, no.
So if this is what I think it is. All right, so Redout is basically... I love the studio. So they are making a game that Sony has refused to make in forever. So this is like, what was that game called?
Wipeout or
Wipeout.
Okay.
So nobody's making Wipeout anymore. True. So these guys said, "Fuck it, we're making Wipeout. We're gonna call it Redout."
Nice.
Now, I assume it's the same team. I have not fact checked this, but it has to be. So they've made a new game. I believe it's them, called Redout Space Assault, and they're making another new game, or they're making another game that the developer has stopped making, and this looks...
No, you said Space Assault? That's the next one.
Space Assault. Yeah. This looks even better than the game that it's sort of aping, if you will.
So maybe a 2D kind of situation?
Yeah. Do we want to throw this in our background?
Yep. Gavin, don't direct me.
So it's not obvious at first. Well, maybe it is now. Oh, this may not be the footage I watched. So I think I watched a trailer for this. This looks like straight up gameplay.
This is long play trailer, but I can find something else. But I mean, it does give you the vibe of what's going on for sure.
Yeah, if you want to look up the trailer. But yeah, you can see this is straight up fucking Star Fox.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
And they're throwing way more action on the screen. So this is basically your Star Fox for adults. And this looks gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
It looks super fast paced. It's kind of got a bit of bullet hell in there. This is a Star Fox game people want. So these guys are making they're making the games that people aren't making, but they want.
There was a Star Fox on Switch, right? That I know nobody really liked.
They like forced you to go on the ground. Switch, it was on the Wii U.
Oh, even worse then.
Right.
I know there was like you had to go to the ground at some point and move around. Like you weren't just in the air flying around.
They've done that since Star Fox 64. They actually had so Star Fox 2 on the Super Nintendo, which never released, actually had that. But you can get the ROM if you look for Star Fox 2. It was way ahead of its time, but it was so good looking that they're like, where people aren't going to buy the 64 if they see this. This is amazing.
Interesting. I know there's some issue with a special chip, like audio chip, that was really for... No, I'm thinking of... I think there was a Star Fox on Super Nintendo, right?
Yeah, the first Star Fox was.
Oh, okay.
And then...
But the sequel's looking so good that, why release it also on the Super Nintendo? I see.
Oh, it looked freaking amazing, yeah.
This game looks dope.
Yeah. So
nice.
I saw this on... I saw this on Steam as the anticipated upcoming... And if you don't know, now you know, but this looks fun. I'm not even super into Star Fox, but I'd probably play this.
I love this type of gameplay, though.
Yeah. It's arcadey. It's fun. It's like crack. You're just going to play it, and you're going to play it, and you're going to play it.
Now, I'm a baby, so as long as there's they throw me a bone with the baby mode, or at least give me a break every once in a while, and it's not like Demon Souls in space, then okay.
I would hope they'd have a baby mode. That being said, I think, I could be wrong, but I think with Star Fox 64... I don't think you could get some of the endings unless you're playing on a certain difficulty.
That's fine.
So if they do that, then you're only getting some of the endings.
I'm okay with that. As long as I get to play the entire game, I'm fine with that.
Right.
Nice. So you got that going. Cool. I'll definitely check that out. Gavin, we can end it there for the week. I have one last thing to drop on that ass. We got some merchandise, and I got some thirsty selfies that I'm showing right now on screen, showing the stuff off. Website is Teespring, Plastic Hearts Podcast over at Teespring. Just the various podcast related merchandise, stickers as well that are there, so you can check it out. The link will be everywhere, of course, Twitch and YouTube and audio, all that jazz, but it is live.
So Lieutenant Soggy Pampers on baby mode. Oh, okay. I read that as you played Lieutenant Soggy Pampers. I'm like, what is this game?
That's Megan's pet name for me, is Lieutenant Soggy Pampers. So that's some inside scoop. And that the reason why is a long story. Alrighty, Gavin, we can end for the week. End it there for the week. Where can they find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at DrugDoves. I don't post.
Great. Ring endorsement. And you can find us on Twitter as well at Plastic Heart Pod. That's it for us this week. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.